Stage and Screen with Andy Snowden. Let us know what you want to hear on WhatsApp with the number 01978 540 410. We love local. Calon FM.
When the deal is done.
Kenny Rogers, of course, and the brilliant The Gambler. We're all singing along to that, of course we are. Now then, on the 28th of April, ladies and gentlemen, a brilliant production is going to be playing up at the William Aston Hall here in Wrexham City. It's called A Country Night in Nashville, and it is direct from the Royal Albert Hall. A Country Night in Nashville recreates the scene of a buzzing honky-tonk in downtown Nashville, perfectly capturing the energy and atmosphere of an evening in the home of country music. Fantastic. And I am joined on the line now by the lead singer and the leader of the band, Mr. Dominic Halpin of Country Night in Nashville. Thanks for joining us, Dominic. I really appreciate it. And well, I think it's fair to say it's fantastic that we've now got shows all up and running, and it seems that we've got ourselves back to normal after the last couple of years that we've had. It must be fantastic for you.
Oh, it really is. I mean, this show is a live show, as you know, so getting in front of people and into these theatres again is wonderful, you know, so we're having a great time up and down the country with it.
But I think as well there was a real danger at one point during the lockdown where we could almost not picture getting back into theatres again, but here we are doing it, and it's terrific.
I know, and you know what's surprising? I mean, we all thought that because of the energy prices and things like that, we were a bit nervous that people wouldn't show up to theatres for a little while until things settled down. But as soon as the year kicked in, I mean, the places are filling up. We're really surprised to see so many people in theatres again, and it is absolutely lovely to see, you know, all the different tiers of people up and down, and we're having a ball. We're having a ball with the show.
And I speak to a lot of musicians who say that they during the lockdown they kind of utilised that time to do a bit of writing, a bit of recording, some put albums out and whatnot. Was that the same for you?
It is, yeah. I got up to all sorts of crazy and weird and wonderful things I made a documentary on the making of a show. I thought I'd keep my hand in it. Yeah. So there's a documentary that's on Amazon Prime about the making of the show called 4,000 Miles in the Making. So that was fun to do. And I kept myself busy making music videos and writing songs and just keeping everything oiled, and you know, I quite enjoyed that time because it was, you know, I would have never have taken that much time off, but when you're forced to, I was pleasantly surprised how much I got done. So it was good, but I was looking forward to getting back on the road again, you know, because you do a few performances virtual performances as they call them, and they were a bit strange. There was somewhere we'd go to a studio and play in front of cameras, but and it was like a semi-live. They recorded it, and then it was going to go out live on a Saturday night to corporate private people, and it was very strange because you had to interact as if they were there in the moment. Yeah. And you finish a song, and obviously there's just the cameraman looking at you. There's no applause in there, so it was quite surreal to do a few of those.
But I think that it kind of proved, I suppose, because a few people have said that to me, that you don't realise that you require an audience until they're not there.
No, that's right, exactly, yeah. So we're very, very grateful, and you know, can't wait to keep it rolling. It's every weekend now. We're out and about doing something. It's fantastic.
Well, as I say, hopefully that we'll never see. It was quite nice for a time, but hopefully we won't see it again.
Yeah.
But I think it's fair to say that when we're kids, we either want to be a sportsman or a sports person or a musician. And you knew early doors, right, that you wanted to be.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was a weird. I never had that sort of ambition to be on stage as such, but I do remember seeing when I was very young in Spain. I remember seeing this band in a country fair in the middle of nowhere, and there was this guy playing an electric guitar on stage, and I must have been about 7 or 8, and I saw this guy playing, and he had this electric guitar with a curly lead plugged into this amplifier, and I'd never seen an electric guitar before, and I could just remember him strumming the strings very lightly, and this powerful sound coming out of this amplifier, and I was just hooked from that moment on. I just thought, wow, what an incredible thing that is, to create that sound. And so then I was just obsessed with guitars and playing music, and then I think it was just later on I fell into being forced at the front to sing, because I didn't even think I could, do the singing thing. I was pushed into it, and then I just took to it like a fish to water, and I absolutely loved it. And then I just, absorbed all the music from my childhood, from my parents, and next thing you know, I'm doing it for. I still pinch myself that I'm doing it now for a living. It's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. But you get a guitar, I read, from your parents for Christmas, and you taught yourself to play. That's quite. I mean, that's incredible.
That's it. Yeah, you just I still can't read a note, but the secret I always say is to people who want to start playing guitar is, well, my secret was I never learned to play guitar. I learned to play songs. So I learned to sing songs from some of the greats of that early period, even Beatles and Buddy Holly, and then country artists, and I just learned the songs. I wouldn't really worry about where the fingers go, how to strum it. And I guess it's a similar thing to like driving a car. You don't really remember how you put the clutch in or the accelerator or the brake. That sort of thing just slightly comes natural. You just concentrate on the driving and going straight ahead and turning right and left, and the rest of it sort of becomes automatic. And that's the way I've learned guitar, is just by learning to sing songs, and then the fingers slowly take care of themselves.
But I read a lovely thing as well on your web page, that you found a guitar in your granddad's shed with one string.
Yeah, that's right.
And it just reminds me of C6 Steve, and he's got. He just looks like he's playing a box with a string on it, but the sound he gets out of it is phenomenal.
It's incredible, isn't he? Yeah, he's an amazing player, and that's it. I mean, I think if you've got that music bug, you can make music out of anything. But that one string guitar that I had, and I was stuck there for like 6 weeks at a time because my grandparents were Spanish, so every school, the holidays I'd be there, and so a lot of the time I'd make use of this guitar, one string. And I just learned all these Catholic songs that I was taught at school. By ear, I was trying to pick them out on this single string, and and then about a year later, I got very confused when my dad turned up with a guitar that had 6 strings. I thought, what am I going to do with this? And this is a different game now. But yeah, no, that was. I guess you either got the bug or you haven't in that way,
Yeah. But you're on the road, as I say, with a country night in Nashville. We're going to be playing Wrexham on the 28th of April. Before we talk about that, I've got to ask you about, because you write for movies and TV soundtracks, and I'm always intrigued how that actually comes about. Do you see a little bit of the movie and then you write for it, or does the director tell you what he wants? So how does it work?
I think there's multiple ways of that happening. A lot of the times it's just a song that I've already got that somebody will, sometimes I've got some contacts overseas and in various places around the world, and they'll reach out to me and say, have you got a song that's in this genre that does this or says this? And what I can do, I can write quite fast, and I've got a home studio, so I can turn around things quite fast, and that's been an amazing thing for me. So sometimes I'll go, I don't, but give me till tomorrow, and I'll quickly try and sketch something out. And for every 10 to 20 songs you do, you're lucky if you get one of them even considered for a film or a TV show or whatever. And I've been very, very lucky around the world with songs in films and TV, and so I don't go out of my way to look for that as much these days. It tends to come to me by accident, but I'm very grateful when it does, because it's just a lovely thing to have. I mean, I think that I had one very recently on a film called Lamborghini, which is a new film that's just come out, and I had a song in that because it had an Italian kind of flavour to it, and it's quite a big sort of clip over that. And but yeah, very lucky to have that sort of thing going on. And as the years roll on, you get a bigger catalogue of songs that you can submit to those things. But it's always nice when you see your song in a film.
Yeah, definitely. So a country night in Nashville. It's I think it speaks for itself. But tell us about it. What's going on?
Oh, it's a great show. So the country night in Nashville, we basically cover anything from the old school, so your Johnny Cashes, all the way up to sort of modern stuff, and a few surprises in there. We've got two wonderful singers. We've got three of us who sing. There's myself, and we have Shelly Quarmby and Donna Marie, two wonderful female singers that take the front of the stage as well, and a fantastic bunch of musicians that are all characters themselves. And we sort of try and portray that we're in a honky-tonk bar in downtown Nashville on Lower Broadway. And that's the backdrop that you walk into the theatre. When you see it, you'll see that the stage is set up that way. And then we just go out there and just have a party, really, and just tell some stories and go through that little journey of music, and try and, by the end of it, the end of the show, we've got people on their feet having a good time and dancing around, and it's a good feel show, and you don't have to be obsessed with country music to enjoy the show. It's a real mix of songs in that way, and so anybody who just enjoys a good night out will absolutely love the show. It's fantastic.
I've been watching some footage on online on YouTube and whatnot, and a party is exactly what it looks like. And I suppose as well, the biggest headache for you, I suppose, would be what songs to leave out as opposed to what to put in, right?
You're exactly right there, Andy. That was the hardest thing with this show is, because country is a huge umbrella of music, and one man's rock is another man's country pop. There's so many different styles underneath that umbrella of country, and my logic was, right, try and pick 50% classic hits that people will know, from your Johnny Cashes to your Dolly Partons and that sort of thing, and then 25% more modern sort of 90s country as well, and up to present day country, and then 25% interpretation, surprises, twists, whatever that is. And that way I feel like, right, then we've sort of ticked some of the boxes. But yeah, there's always more you can do, but you've got a 2-hour show, you've got to cram it all in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was one of the most difficult things, and it took me a few months at the very beginning of the tour to sort of iron that out, which I thought was the best for the audience.
Well, it's called A Country Night in Nashville. It's touring until, the end of the year, but you'll be playing the William Aston Hall on the 28th of April. Have you played Wrexham before, by the way?
We have a few years before lockdown now, so it's a while ago now. But right. But we're touring all over. But that date, we're looking forward to it. We'll be rocking the house. So grab your tickets and come and say hello to us at the show.
Fantastic, Dominic Halpin. It's been a treat to speak to you, my friend. Thanks ever so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Andy. I really appreciate it too.
Not at all. You take care, and we look forward to welcoming you back to North Wales on the 28th of April. Cheers, mate.
Thank you. All the best now. Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye.
Bye.
Love. The Country Night in Nashville will be bringing its UK tour to the William Aston Hall here in Wrexham on Friday, the 28th of April. Box office number 01352 344 101. That's 01352 344 101. Go on, support your local theatres, ladies and gentlemen. They won't be there forever if you don't.
Stage and Screen with Andy Snowden. Let us know what you want to hear on WhatsApp with the number 01978 540 410. We love local. Calon FM.